And like I said, this is the Loki episode 2, titled The Variant. And I know you liked last episode, One Take Big Dog, because we talked about it on this show. I'm coming to you. How did you feel just overall? You know, your 20-second, 30-second, however long, how many seconds you want. How did you feel about the episode overall? Did it meet your expectations, fall below your expectations? And, you know, also, did you like it more or less than episode 1?
I will say I think I liked episode 1 more or less, because I think this one was much more. I don't know. I think the dialogue was like heavy in this one, which is not a bad thing. It just it's one of those things where you have to really pay attention. I've only had a chance to see the episode once, so I'm still just kind of like trying to put 2 and 2 together with everything that's going on and all the things that were said in the episode.
Okay. Well, I'll kind of echo that, man. Hey, how you doing, Strictly Starlight? What's going on? Hey, how you doing, ER's grandpa? I liked this episode too. I thought it was great, and I think I liked it more the second time I saw it, but overall, I still enjoyed the first one more. That was just kind of groundbreaking to me with everything that they introduced, this new hierarchy of power. I'm not going to go as far as saying this one dragged, but excuse me. It just wasn't exciting, but it was still good. I mean, there are still some things that I really did love in this episode. And of course, we're going to be talking about it. One of the things I do like is how they just changing all the colors, and, you know, with the Marvel Studios, everything is looking green right here. And, you know, at the end of the last episode, we kind of found out that, hey, they're going to be hiring Loki because there's somebody going around making, you know, stealing time bombs and killing Minutemen. And that's kind of where this episode starts off. Starts in 1985 with some type of Renaissance period. I mean, you know, of course it's a play. You know, the lady at the beginning say, hey, you're out of dress code. You know, we need this. And I don't blame her. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to step out of reality and have some fun. You know, ain't nothing wrong with a little escapism, you know, as long as you're able to come back. And we got these Minutemen right here. She looking extra cocky. And I don't know. I guess I grabbed the screen too quick because that says Oshkosul WIR. I don't know what it is, but yeah, but that is in 1985, and they're going around trying to hunt down this variant because they don't know what's going on. And we find out that, hey, you know, it's a trap, and we got this lady Loki right here that stabbed them, taking hostages. And you know, that's kind of new to the Minutemen. They're like, hey, wait a minute, Loki, you know, they don't do that. And so how was you feeling about this opening scene right here? And I know you had some questions last time, like, wait a minute, if it's another Loki, why aren't they just showing her face? But how you kind of feeling about how that's opening up right there with this episode? Hello? Kind of froze. Oh, did I lose one take? I think I lost one take, guys. His screen is, somebody says this Wisconsin. Oshkosh, LOL. Okay, Wisconsin. So one take, hold on, let me try to. Okay, I think we're having an internet connection, maybe. Huh. Well, I thought the scene was badass. D-Wave says Loki is fire. TVA got him. And y'all saying that like I was just supposed to know. Like, hold on, let me go back to that and look at Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Is that what it says? Hold on. Oh, okay. I guess I can see that coming through. All right, you back now? Okay, cool.
Yeah, my apologies, man. My new, you know, my career so setup's a little different. But
it's all good. It's all good, my brother.
But going in to back to your question about like that opening scene. I knew it was coming. I think we all pretty much could have saw it happening. Also, another thing, that the Minutemen, they kind of like got this like superiority complex, which is I'm not a fan of. Okay, right. So when they get took down, I'm kind of like, oh, well, that's what you get. Okay, y'all thought y'all was all big and bad. You know, I'm not even mad at that. Yeah. But I was still kind of confused as to why Lady Loki was taking a hostage. So that still was kind of like weird to me. I'm like, what's the use of a hostage? And I still kind of have questions about that.
I do too. I do too. We're gonna definitely answer them. But what one of the things that I just really liked about this, man, is that, you know, like you said, the Minutemen are getting taken out. Not that I just want them to get taken out, but I just don't know how I feel about them just being some overly OP powered super, you know, time cops. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I like that there's a balance of power. Yeah, they are the you know the people to deal with in their own realm, you know. But you know, when it comes back to the normal multiverse or whatever, the normal universe, you know, they on an even playing field with everybody else. And so let me go ahead and bring in my second guest to the show. Y'all know him from the good state of Missouri. That is Elliot with Movie Files. How you doing, my brother?
What's going on, guys? How we doing?
Good.
We are doing pretty good. We are doing pretty good. I honestly can't remember if y'all met before. If y'all have 17 times already, my bad.
But yeah, I've met him on a couple of your streams. Yeah.
Okay. I can't.
We met on another timeline.
This guy right here is quick with him. He's quick. I like it. You're on your way. You're on your way to the top. But I hope you had a good day, man. Also, we waited at the very beginning. I was asking OneTakeBigDog how he felt about the episode, if he liked it or he didn't, if it met or fell below his expectations. Also, how he felt about you know, did he like episode 2 better than episode 1? And also, we were just talking about kind of just this opening right here. In 1985, the people in the chat politely let me know that this is Okosh, Wisconsin. And you know, OneTakeBigDog was saying, "Hey, man, they got a superior complex, and you know, they getting taken out." And I was just also saying that I like how they're getting taken out because they're not just some all-powerful beings. I know I just threw a lot at you, you know, but go ahead and give me your 2 cents, your 10 cents, your $30 on how you feel about all that.
Well, one of your first questions was like, which one did I prefer more? I think both episodes are pretty good, but I like this one just a little bit more just because of the significance of, you know, what happens at the end, but also just opening that door of, I don't know, man, I got this feeling the TVA and particularly the timekeepers aren't as holy or as good as, you know, TVA makes them out to be. I think there's definitely some either conflict between those three beings, or there's maybe one of the timekeepers that's maybe bounced out of the group and doing its own thing. You know, a lot of people are speculating that Kang may or may not be a timekeeper, or have been a timekeeper, or might have worked for the TVA. So this episode to me really kind of opens up that door for the conversation of just like MCU, whenever they introduce like some new entity, whether it be the Skrulls being bad, but they end up being good, or the TVA being good, but they might end up being bad. So I got my antenna up for the TVA and timekeepers in particular, but I do prefer this episode more than the first. I just feel like the pacing is a little bit better. The story's really shaping up to be something interesting, and I really enjoyed it, man.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. You know, I mean, we did too. You know, you prefer this one more. I think, like I said, me and One Take, we prefer the previous one better. But at the same time, we lost Elliot. But at the same time, it's not like I'm just going into this each episode just like, you know, it has to be better than the last one. As long as they're good, you know what I'm saying. That's really all that matters to me. Yeah. But I am liking the new title cards or whatever. That's cool. That's clever. I'm really loving the score, the soundtrack that we have so far. I'm really liking everything that has to do with Miss Minute. You know, cute little character. And hold on one second. Yeah, cute little character. And you know, they're getting together right now, going to this Renaissance period in 1985, just trying to figure everything out. And Loki had me tricked right here because I really thought that he was onto something. You know, talking about, wait, if you go outside, you know, you're going to he's out there waiting for you or whatever, and you're gonna die or whatever. But you know, he was just kind of wasting their time, you know. And I like that scene. And when we have Ravonna, I like the timekeepers. I just think I don't know. I don't like them, but I just like how that looks. And another scene that just kind of stood out to me is just this right here. You know, Ravonna, played by Gugu Mbatha-Raw. I like the dialogue in between these two right here. And so this is just more of Loki being Loki, trying to be a trickster. And with this scene right here, I want to pose a question to you guys. Do you think that there is something, or there was something going on between these two as far as some type of romantic relationship? Because I kind of feel those vibes. I don't know how y'all feel. Elliot, I'm gonna come to you, man. How you feeling about all that?
What was interesting about the TVA is they were created by the timekeepers. So like, what was their like thesis, or like how did they come up with the TVA in regards to like, do they have feelings, emotions? The one guy last week didn't know what a fish was. So like for Renslayer and Owen Wilson's character Mobius to be attracted to each other, is that part of the DNA of them, attraction, falling in love, or is it just like they're robotic and they got to stick to the, they don't have free will? So is it up to them if they want to be in a relationship with someone or not? So it's just really interesting to know if them not having free will, as far as everything being predetermined, if they have the opportunity to have a relationship. So I don't know. It's a really interesting question. A lot of people already know, as far as the comics go, that Renslayer does have some type of romantic relationship with, Kane the Conqueror, which, she did allude to. She does have other field agents that she works with more than Mobius. So I don't know if there's something there. But again, I just suppose to answer your question about them having some romance, can they even have romance? Like I said, the guy doesn't even know what a fish is. How do they know how to get in a relationship with someone? So
good question. I didn't even think of it like that. So very, very good observation. OneTake, how you feeling about all that?
I think he's just playing a role. I think he's trying to sweet talk. I don't think it's really anything there between the two, because it seems like it, but I feel like they have more just like a one of those like cool friend vibes, and neither one of them just like overstepping that or even want to overstep that. I just think it's real cool. But going back to kind of like the whole Loki and the deaths at the TVA, I enjoyed that. I thought it's like very fitting for Loki's character, and just like how he just runs around and just missing with missed minutes. And I'm just like you, Avery. I thought Loki was telling the truth about not going outside. I'm just like, and then when Agent Mobius pretty much like, yo, he's lying. I'm like, is he really? I'm like, nah, there's no way he's lying. Then I thought, I'm like, yo, it's Loki. Like Loki would have caught.
Right. Oh, we lost him again. That's all right. I'm sure he'll be back. But yeah, I thought Loki was I thought he was telling the truth too. But he's a habitual liar. Yes. Now during episode 1, we did kind of get a scope, Elliot, of how large the TVA was. When Mobius was taking Loki down the hallway and they looked outside, you saw all the floating vehicles and stuff like that. It was pretty deep, but this next scene right here, they just kind of took it to the next level. I mean, the camera was panning down and we saw floor on top of floor on top of floor. And then just look how deep that is on the back left, all these rows, and I mean, that kind of makes sense. I mean, they are the timekeepers of the whole, not universe, but multiverse, you know what I'm saying? But I was just saying to myself, I was like, damn, that is a lot of hallways. I mean, it's infinite. It just is. And so that was fascinating to me. This was also funny as hell, the whole librarian scene. I mean, this is like a whole different pocket universe, but so much matches, to our reality here, and so on top of this endless decks of hallways, I like the questions that Loki's trying to ask, like, hey, can I please get the information on the creation of time? That's classified. The end of time, that's classified. The creation of the TVA, that's classified. What can I look at? And so, okay, we'll give you this. And again, this just shows how great Tom Hiddleston's acting is. And I felt sorry for him in episode 1. I feel sorry for him too, and in this one too, because he's really, really hurt by this. Seeing the destruction of Asgard. And so he put some stuff together and then runs over. Well, I don't want to jump that far just yet ahead, but just stop everything I just said. So him emoting. How are you feeling about all this? And I feel sorry for the cleaning crew that has to do all this vacuuming and stuff like that. But how you feeling about all that?
Yeah, as you said, it would make sense that they would have that type of scope and scale of the TVA, just because, like you mentioned, they're protecting all or monitoring all the time. So they have to have people, supervisors on top of supervisors. I mean, the paperwork on that job has to be insane. So
micromanaging,
definitely makes a lot of sense there. And then, like you said, the librarian reminds me a lot of kind of another Disney property with Pixar's the Monsters Inc. and Mike Kozlowski, that whole librarian woman there. But what was interesting was she said was, even though, we could have took it as like kind of, yeah, it's classified, but why is it classified? Why can't he see the beginning of time? Why can't he see the TVA? Are they hiding something? Is the TVA making up that they are the controllers of all time? Is it all a hoax or whatnot? So very interesting to see if he does come across those files and just blank pages, or they really do reveal the identity of the TVA. So
Right
yeah,
on.
it's definitely, again, the show is given, so many little Easter eggs and so many different things you could dive deep into, but Loki go cry in the car.
Yeah, that was funny to me.
Yeah.
Now Coop the Bully says it's odd that most of the story is taking place on Earth though. I don't know about that. I think it's taking place in the TVA, and I guess, are you saying that the other Loki is popping around on Earth? Hiding in different, I don't know. Maybe that alternate Loki is from Earth, just from a different, multiverse. And that is kind of how it works. Like there's more than one Earth.
We're going to be traveling to different galaxies and universes. I'm sure that the budget's going to, or the landscaping will be more than Earth as time goes by. Because if once we get to the ending, you'll see that the timeline is that Lady Loki messed up. There were some other planets that's not on Earth that I think we'll be visiting. So
right on. Now, Elliot, a few things that I learned as a child is to never play with anybody's money.
Yep.
But on top of that, never ever play with anybody's food, man.
Especially when they're hungry.
You know what I'm saying? But Loki's like, hey, I got a project I want to show you, man. I've been studying these documents, and I got some salt and pepper, man. And look, it doesn't matter. And he's like, bro, Owen Wilson Mobius is so funny to me because he's like, well, I'm trying to eat my lunch. What do you want? Did you read all the files? All of them about the case. Okay, fine. What it is, what do you want? On one hand, it's funny to me, his reaction. But another thing, I'm just like, bro, you're the one that hired him to help you out. He's coming to you with solutions.
Right.
And and I guess he still just like, yeah, I wanted your help, but not on my lunch break. But yeah, man, I was laughing, man. You also see the guy in the back on the left-hand side right there. He keeps picking on him.
Casey.
Casey. That's hilarious. Now, I do like how he explained this scene right here about the salt and pepper. Very great exposition. It's super dope. I like that. Also, them going back to Pompeii, 79 AD. And this is funny, on I keep calling him on Wilson, that is his name, but Mobius, Agent Mobius is like, okay, let's just make a few bird noises, like, Look, like, no, F that, F everybody, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I love that, man. Yeah. I thought that was very, very clever. It just kind of explained, and even though I preferred episode 1 better, these are the brief moments right here to where I'm just like, okay, this is just, explaining how the plot works, how the TVA, the timeline works, and how they operate. So, how are you feeling about all that?
Yeah, no, man, the back and forth between Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston has been fantastic, and it's so funny to see Owen Wilson in the kind of he's the straight man in the situation. Like, he's not like, normally we see Owen Wilson being the one that's kind of like the funny guy, the joking guy. He's the one, the low key coming in the other person. Like, I got the information. Then I tell you, go sit in another room. So it's interesting to see him play the reverse of that. And he's playing it up so well as adding in the little, bits of comedy that we know him from. So I just love their chemistry back and forth. But again, Loki, man, he's a smart individual. As he said in episode 1, I'm smart. Oh, I know you're smart. He's not an idiot. He's not a dummy. So he did put 2 and 2 together in regards to, if I was a Loki, which I am, I would be hiding in these different, catastrophes. I would be hiding in these different apocalypses. So I love that Loki, again, is showing you got some wit to him. He's the god of mischief, but he got some brains to him. But I like that a lot. And like you said, that metaphor thing is very funny. But again, Casey, man, this man can't catch a break. He's just doing his job. He's trying to take in the Tesseract. You're messing with his crate got destroyed last week. And now his lunch is destroyed. So
exactly.
Casey, man, he might be the villain of the show. He might be pissed off if Loki keep messing with him. So
I agree. And let me help Miss Strictly Starlight. What were they trying to do? One, the civilians releasing the Rams. He was just trying to change the timeline. Come in and just like, hey, I'm going to change what happened in the actual year 79 AD. And he was just trying to prove to Mobius that no matter what we do here, it doesn't matter. It's not going to set a branch timeline because everything here is going to be destroyed. I hope I explained that well enough for you to understand. Elliot, if you have anything else you want to shine on that, please feel free. But that's how I understood it. So
yeah, no, 100%. Like you just said, it's like even if, as Loki did, he's yelling, he's shouting, throwing food at people, it does not stop the ultimate destruction of Pompeii. So that's his theory was like nothing you could do can affect what's going to happen. So it played out to be true.
Right on. And I guess our brother is having some technical difficulties. He is still showing love in the chat. I miss you, sir. I miss you, but that is all right. That is all right. Now, again, now this is possibly one of the best scenes to me right here. Is when they find out, okay, he's hiding in Apocalypse. You know, they have this hypothesis and they tested it out, did their little science experiment. But when they come back, because I mean, they're still, even though they narrowed it down to him hiding in an apocalypse, or the Loki hiding in an apocalypse, there's a ton of apocalypse events that have happened. Right. You know, so they're kind of going back to the drawing board, and that brings us to this conversation right here that I loved. It was very nice. You know, a lot of great points made on both ends. Loki is just like, you know what, but dude, do you actually believe this, that some timekeepers, you know, create, you know, dictate all of time? You know, there's no such thing as free will. You know, we're the only ones that's free. He's like, that's just ridiculous, that, you know, that concept that's where we come from. And then I like Mobius' reply. He's like, well, where do you come from? You know, a frost giant, and who raised you? Odin. Yes, Asgard, a mystical realm with magic and blah, blah, blah. And when you think about it, like to us, people that, you know, we would look at both of those situations and be like, these are the same, you know, magical, mystical beings controlling, creating everything. So I really, this is possibly one of my favorite scenes in the episode. Yeah. And just the whole fact, like, it just brings up the question, like, what is the point of life? What is the point of all of this? You know, like, I mean, what is the point? Like, what are we living for? What are we trying to get to? If we succeed in this life, will we all elevate to another form of life and another, like, what? I don't know. And and the thing about it is Agent Mobius is just content. He's fine with his level of understanding, like, hey, you know, we try to make sure that the past doesn't fall apart. They're trying to make sure that they unravel the future so that we can meet at the end of the timeline in peace or whatever. And that's just like really, really interesting to me. Like I said, it was the best scene to me in the episode. How you feeling about it?
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. This was, well, first off, I'm just like you when it comes to these type of conversations, the meaning of life, what happens, you know, once things, the light at the end of the tunnel and all that stuff. So just to see these two complete polar opposite people having the discussion about their belief system, as you just mentioned, Mobius, this is all he knows, the TVA, timekeepers, multiverse, all that stuff. That's what he's born to know. That's what he's born to raise and live and all that stuff. And the same goes with Loki. You know, Midgard, being the king of Midgard, coming from Asgard and all that stuff. So it's just really interesting. When I took away from that conversation, I think this may happen by the end of the show, is we might see a role reversal in regards to Mobius is so stuck to the book. He likes to play by the rules. But hey, by the time Loki unravels things and maybe shows him the truth of the timekeepers, he might be that, you know, a variant himself. He might veer off to the timeline. Because I don't know if you remember earlier in the episode, just a small little detail. He even says it in the scene. A jet ski. He just wants to go on a jet ski. He loves jet skis, but he can't go off and get a jet ski because he's going to mess up the timeline. So I think by the end of the season, Mobius will be somewhat, not like I said, a variant, but I think he's going to maybe do his own thing, be a free agent, if not, you know, taking a bigger role in the TVA. But I think that conversation will be big later on because I think Mobius might break his belief system. And hell, maybe Loki might break his belief system and do something else himself. So I think that conversation was very interesting and maybe foreshadowing for episodes to come.
I agree, and I would love it if we could see Mobius on a jet ski, like at the end episode or like the post-credit scene. He's like,
like I'm a jet ski.
Like, dude, I would be so happy. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, for me, and I think for everybody, bro, sometime in life, man, it's just really the little things that can make you happy. You know, we all have things that we that has that sentimental value, and he just wants a jet ski. You know, he just wants a jet ski. But let me go ahead and grab this super chat right here. SJ Evans, to show some support for your channel. Good episode this week. 2050 scene had me shook. And thank you. That's very nice. You know, you kind of make me feel like dancing. Here you go.
It looks like the office party at the TVA.
Right on,
Christmas
right on,
party.
right on. Yeah. SJ Evans, thank you so much for that super chat. I really do appreciate it. Yes, yeah, he getting that jet ski. I hope so. I hope so. I agree. And Strictly Starlight, I agree, Elliot and Didier. Is that what this is? Yeah. Yeah, yes. So again, SJ Evans, thank you so much for that. But where are we at in the episode? And so yeah, they have that dope ass conversation right there. And then, you know, I forgot exactly what happened right after that, but Mobius goes to Ravonna and just be like, hey, look, you know, we figured some stuff out. I need your approval. I'm loving the fact that he's going to her and, you know, she's telling him what to do. She calls all the shots and she's like, fine, you know, that's just dope. And here we go, year 2050 in Haven Hills, Alabama, 2050 right there. And they just come scrambling. You know, they got the crew ready. The Rocks card. I hope you have some questions about the Rocks card because I think that has popped up in the MCU in the past or like maybe some old TV ABC shows, but we're gonna see. And Loki has his magic back. I like that. And I was just talking about, you know, black women having authority right here. Again, we have Hunter, is it B-15? You know, she's like, nah, man, Loki's going with me. No, he's coming with me. No, he's coming with me. And this mysterious figure is watching that all. And so how are you feeling about that so far, Elliot? You know, Mobius having to run to Ravonna to get their approval, them jumping to 2050, and you know, just kind of this intro right here, and you know, Loki's able to use this magic again. How you feeling about all that?
Well, to go back as far as that, the setup, the scene, that the kid, or I should say Mobius, remembered that the kid had the candy from last week's episode, and he tied it back to where was this candy manufactured, what year, and then they went to, you know, Ruck's Cart, which is like a big old grocery store that has it, so they were able to put two and two together there. Thank you. Yeah, no worries, man. The devil's bearing gifts, as they said last week. But yeah, man, this is dope to see Loki. So what I was so excited about this show, and I'm excited to see what the MCU does moving forward. You know, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, they didn't really open up the power levels of all these characters. Like we see what Wanda's capable of in WandaVision. We see this new Captain America and Falcon Winter Soldier. Now we can see Loki be the god of mischief because he really hasn't, besides like disguise and trickery and all that, that's the only thing that we've seen him be able to do in the movies. Now we can see him do other stuff, which gets me excited, especially now this other version of Loki, the Lady Loki, might have more of a power set than he does. But yeah, him using his powers, and again, Wumu Shaku, they got beef, man. I think by the end of this season, they might be maybe on the same page inevitably, or they'll just be hated enemies for the rest of the time. But I love this kind of back and forth between these two because she can't trust him, and she's smart. She's not Thor, who you know, falls for Loki's tricks every time. Right. You know, but B-15 is like, no, I don't trust you. You're coming with me. But unfortunately, you know, she does get mind warped. But no, I love the setup. I love the scale of this. I'm a big sci-fi guy, so this is giving me like Blade Runner 2049, Blade Runner type of neon lights and the rain coming down. So I'm like all about it. So I love this closeout, and obviously we'll talk about that crazy ending. But yeah, I love the whole setup.
And just talk about her, how she didn't trust him. I like how right before they came here to Alabama in 2050. Loki was walking up and Mobius gave him his daggers. Was like, yeah, you know, just in case. And she was like, excuse me, I don't think so. And took him and threw him back in the locker. I'm just, look at her calling all the shots. You know, I like that. I like that. Yeah. But before we move on, let me go ahead and grab this super chat real quick from Pound the Pavement. $5. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it.
What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside.
All right. The money resides with Pound Payment for that $5 again. Thank you so much. I really, really, really do appreciate it. And so, yeah, you know, so Loki ends up with Hunter B-15, and you know they're doing their thing, and they come up on this figure like, bro, what you shopping for plans for on the hurricane? He's like, man, it's a sale, you know. But we find out that hey, you know, it's somebody else got them enchanting powers, you know, and he's like, oh, the character change and Hunter B-15 changed so quickly right there, you know, and I do like that. We find, hey, she's not dead. Hunter C-20, the person that was kidnapped at the very beginning of the episode, is tripping balls right now. And we get to see more of these powers. I mean, now Randy is taking over the body and they having some dialogue, and Loki trying to coerce him, and he's like, no, I'm good. I'm not trying to take over the TVA. I'm trying to do my own thing. She talking about, hey, I gave it away, where to find the timekeepers, and more and more and more of this enchanting power. And so I just want to talk about that real quick. But before we close it out, how are you feeling about the powers, like the abilities that she's using right there? I still don't have a full grasp of it, and why was this character right here why was she tripping balls like that, man? How you feeling about all that?
Yeah, no, Sasha Lang, man. Again, MCU knocking out of the park with the casting. She's a good young up and coming actress. So, and I hope we get more of her in the series. But what's interesting about C15 or 20 giving up that information was, I guess how did again, this goes back to my timekeeper thing. She knows where to find a timekeeper. That seems like a little bit of too much power to your minions to kind of know where you're at. Right. So that'll be interesting to see what that ultimate location is. But yeah, having her mind warped and seeing more of Loki's abilities, which ties back to similar or closest to the beginning of the episode when Loki was describing the difference between like a hologram and taking form of someone. I think that will play into, later on in the season, we might see a body switch of sorts. We might see a Loki pretending to be Mobius, pretending to be a timekeeper. Once they actually see what a timekeeper looks like, they can take almost like a scroll, essentially. They can take the appearance of them, and maybe Lady Loki and Loki can take over the TVA in disguise as the timekeepers, because we got to remember Loki did steal Odin's powers and he was the king of Asgard for a little bit, so maybe that is something that we can see in the future as far as taking on someone's identity. But yeah, man, this is great. I love this setup and the mind warping and giving up the identity. It's gonna be wild. But yeah, Randy and the guy here taking on the forms. It's Loki versus Loki.
Right on. I was kind of confused, like, man, what is going on? I know that's not the variant or whatever, but we finally have the plan right here. This Loki here is setting bombs. Got the time bombs and got the little transformation devices. And what do you want from me? And they continue to go with it, but dun dun dun. We have the mysterious figure right here. They're getting closer, and there she is right here, Lady Loki. Now, I don't know how much you know about the comics, and I'm sure you know a lot, but I could have sworn this was Enchantress. And I kind of think that maybe this character is going to become Enchantress, because when Loki called this guy Randy, which was being controlled by Enchantress, she was like, oh, don't call me that, just call me Randy. So that's just kind of like a little theory I got. But she's setting off these bombs right here, man. The time clock goes down. We got the purple right here bomb going off. That she stole in a whole ton of them. So she stole the bombs and the little the transporter devices, and she's sending them all over the multiverse, man. And this is kind of funny. He trying to be all technical, like, what's going on? Someone bombed the sacred timeline. Just keep it short and simple, short and sweet. And it's just chaos. And I don't know if you paid attention to those Easter eggs in this screen right here, but those are a lot of events that happened in the MCU in the past. Ravonna's tripping balls right here. With her old school computer screen, and then everybody's scrambling, man. Everybody's scrambling. Loki is like, I don't want to stay here. I want to go with this mysterious figure right here that's kicking ass, and he dips, and they're kind of stuck there, not knowing what to do, man. And that's the conclusion right there. So kind of just how you feeling about her? How you feeling about the reveal of Lady Loki right here? Her plan to blow up the timeline, and also them dipping out together. And what we may see in next episode.
Well, yeah, man. So Lady Loki, I'm not too familiar with. I do know, like in the comics, I'm pretty sure they have like the identical set powers. So I think that she won't be like the superior Loki or vice versa. But it is very interesting to see, again, another, the MCU phase 4 is definitely a phase of reintroducing characters or somewhat passing the torch. I don't know if she's going to be our Loki moving forward once this show is over, and we might see Loki in a movie and she might be the Loki on TV or vice versa. We obviously got Scarlet Witch now. We got the new Captain America. And for the rest of this phase 4, we got, Hawkeye passing the mantle to Kate Bishop and so on and so forth. So I think this is yet again Marvel saying, hey, do you guys like this character? If so, you might see more of them in the future, depending on how the show ends. But the whole, what is Lady Loki up to? Why does she want to destroy or cause disarray to the timeline? Like you mentioned, she doesn't like to go by the name of Loki. Has her timeline been reset? Can she not go back home? Which might speak to her, what she did might set the stages for, speaking of No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse. Her doing that is going to cause the chaos in the multiverse. And like you had mentioned in that photo there, some interesting titles that's going to be affected. One being Velmar or Vilmir, or from pronouncing that wrong, from Endgame or Infinity War and Endgame, as far as where the Stone is at. So, which might explain in the promotions we saw Loki and Lady Loki sitting down and seem like a purple area, so they might be going there to see the destruction. But yeah, man, this to me is huge ramifications for the rest of the show, but also I think for the rest of the MCU, because resetting those timelines, as they said in this episode, these discharges, they evaporate things. So this is causing people to evaporate, but do we know that where do they go when they evaporate, which might again explain a Spider-Man situation where Doc Ock might have died in Spider-Man 2, but if that timeline dropped in New York in whatever year Spider-Man 2 took place, maybe that can take him to the sacred timeline.
Right,
so I think that bomb dropping is definitely going to set the stage for madness and multiverse.
Oh, definitely. And that just kind of goes back to what you were saying in the beginning. And a lot of people feel this way, that they just don't feel like the TVA is being that completely honest. Mm-hmm. So when they had their little Miss-Minute explainer video in episode 1, like, oh, there was a multiversal war, and they had to dictate, or all of existence would no longer be here. There could be some truth to that, but I don't think it's the whole truth. And I think that Lady Loki found out about that, and she's like, wait a minute, I want to set things back the way they were supposed to. Right. It's not going to wipe out all existence, but I want more control over my life. These people, these timekeepers, are stopping it, and I want to stop them. And so great ending of the episode. I cannot wait to see exactly what happens next, if they're going to team up or whatever in some capacity, but I'm really, 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 really excited about it, and we're just going to have to see. Yeah, we're just going to have to see. One Take says, I want to know why she left the door open for him. Oh yeah. I don't know. Good question, man. Maybe she has a good reason, and she wants to team up with him, and maybe her plan is just that complex to where she just needs some type of help, and so we're just going to see. But guys, that does bring us to the end of this first topic right here, talking about episode 2, the variant. Whether you're watching this via live or in the replay, please let me know what you thought about this episode. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, which one you preferred, episode 1 or episode 2. Let us know down in the comment section. We would really appreciate it.